Hello everyone, it's Shauna coming to you live from her craft room in Edmond, Oklahoma. Today is May 17th. It is 10 o'clock. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Saturday. I'm so glad the weekend's here. It was kind of a rough week for me. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm going to make sure I'm over in the right spot that you can see me. And it looks like I am. Let me turn on live chat so I can see if anybody comments. Let me get myself a little bit more lined up here. Can you guys hear me? Let me double check on that. Maybe. So I can see if anybody comments. Yep. You can hear me. Okay. Alrighty. So, did everybody have a fabulous Mother's Day weekend last weekend? Mine was kind of busy. I had a good weekend, but we got stuff done. It was a take care of business weekend. I feel like we're so busy all the time. It's just hard to get anything accomplished. So we did some planting, opened the pool. That's kind of been an ordeal. So anyway, we're getting there. The tarp that we had, the cover, right as we were putting it on, I pulled on it and it ripped. And I thought, oh, it'll be okay. So we tried to put, some Gorilla Tape and some Flexi Seal on it and seal it up. Well, about halfway through the winter season, I saw that floating around and I thought, yeah, that didn't work. So I knew when we were going to take off the tarp, the pool cover, that it was going to be a little dirty inside. And our little pool vacuum cleaner thing had kind of broke like maybe 2-3 weeks right before we closed it, which we don't close our pool until like after Halloween. We wait really late to make sure the water is good and cold so nothing starts growing in it. And so there was already a little dirt in the bottom because she wasn't working very well and I couldn't get the dirt up. So this week it's been kind of a crazy week trying to clean the bottom of the pool. It's getting there. It's starting to look like a pool, but I will say that it's been the roughest the roughest year that we've opened our pool yet. Okay, so enough of chit-chatting. Let's get to crafting. I challenged myself this week to use new product. And I don't know about you guys, but that's really hard for me sometimes. I've shared in the past that it takes me a while to warm up to something. The more I see it, the more I don't know. I don't know why that is. It's really hard for me to just jump right in. So the new catalog, I'm excited about new products and what there is, but then on the other hand, it's like, yikes, okay, now I need to start creating with this. What am I going to create? And it takes me a little while. So I don't know if you guys are like that, but kind of my process to overcome that is to make myself use things, new stuff. So I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? I'm going to challenge myself to use the in colors. So I pulled out the in colors, and then I pulled out my 2 packs of paper that have the in colors in them, the designer series paper. And flowers are always a very easy thing to grab. People love getting cards with flowers on them. You can use it for several different occasions. Happy birthday, thank you, sympathies. So it's kind of just an easy go-to. So I had bought some flowered dies. These are the Impressions Abloom die. These are an online exclusive. Now there is one in the new catalog that is just as pretty. So let me grab our new catalog that I can open in front of you guys. So fun. Okay. Let me see if I can find them. It's at the very beginning. And it's probably just easier for me to go to my index and find it. Okay, why am I not seeing it? It's Floral Impressions. Where's it at? Why am I not seeing it? Maybe it's not Floral Impressions, that's why. It is Florals in Bloom, but same. Okay, why Florals in Bloom? Why am I not seeing it? Good grief. Okay, it's in here, I promise. There it is. Florals in Bloom. Okay. So this stamp set right here and die set. This paper right here has the in colors in it, and these dies are just as pretty as these dies. And these are Impressions Abloom. This is on the online exclusive. This is, I guess it's called Pretty Florals. What's the Florals in Bloom Suite Collection is the suite, but the actual stamp set is Pretty Florals. So that's kind of how I started. So I just grabbed, I'm going to go over these in colors with you. Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Strawberry Slush, Cloud Cover, Secret Sea. Okay. To me, when I look at this palette of colors, they all go together, they all play together really well, really nicely. Sometimes we'll have, in my opinion, 3 that really work well together, and then 2 that are kind of out in left field. They work good together, but the 5 don't work good together. To me, this time, all 5 of these play very nicely with each other. So, to me, when I looked at this, I thought, okay, this is a good background color. All 4 of these colors really pop on top of that. So I immediately thought this is a base color. Then I thought to myself, that's a good sky color, and these could be my flower colors. So that's where my head went. Anyway, so I thought this shouldn't be that hard to do. I've got florals, a die set. I've got, like I said, 2 different DSP paper packs that work well. And so that was another thing. I kind of had to pick through here and choose, you know, what I thought worked best. This one right here is the one that's in the catalog. And this is Florals in Bloom. And then this one is actually the paper that goes with this die set that I have. And so, of course, I immediately reached for this one first. And I love that. Of course, I didn't use that because that didn't really go with the end colors. I was trying to find the papers with a lot of end colors. I love that. So, anywho, you can see I kind of played with a couple of different things. Here's the one paper that has all the colors in it. Here's the other paper. These two come from the same paper pack. I really thought, this is the one that I grabbed in the very beginning. And then as I started putting these colors on top, I didn't like, I think if I'm going to use this one, and I'll have to go back and create something, but maybe I would grab a Misty Moonlight flower, a cloud cover flower, and then fresh freesia, and layer it on this. I think that would look a lot nicer than these bold colors. So that kind of, that made that one go away. And really I only had these two papers to kind of choose from. And this one just looked, I think that one had too much green in it for me maybe. This one looked more vibrant. So that's why I went with this one. Anyway, that was kind of just my thinking through process. I don't know if that helps any of you, but that's how my brain works. And then I knew I wanted to use these really pretty 25 to 27 in color flat pearls because I was using the in colors. So we are going to use the art dies. These have been unavailable for quite some time. They're going to come back, I'm sure. It's just some of those things that Stampin' Up! Comes out with, and people just love them and they fly off the shelves, and then it just takes forever for us to get stuff back. So, okay. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to start with cloud cover. There's my 8.5 by 11 piece. I'm going to grab my trimmer, do the normal, you know, 4 1/4 is the half of the 8.5, and I'm going to score it. And then I'm going to turn and rotate my paper to the 5.5 because that's half of the 11, and I'm going to cut. Just a tip trick that I learned years ago. I don't even remember from who, but if you take you scored this, it's already in half, but sometimes still when you take your paper and you fold it over, it doesn't quite line up. If you use the edge or the lip of your trimmer, you can get that pretty close. Just a little tip trick. I know your trimmer is to cut and score, but you know, you might as well use it while you got it out. I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure that I lay that really flat, that I get a good edge, a good crease. And then, like I said, I had to pick from the paper, so I went ahead, and even though these dies are what's online, I'm going to use the paper from the catalog. And it's okay to mix and match like that. So do whatever floats your boat. There is no rules. Whatever works for you. I'm going to take my card base and move that out of the way. As you can see, I kind of already have a cut on this, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the rest of that. And then I just need to get it small enough to go through my die cutting machine. Lots of die cutting on today's video, so sorry. Where is my little... Okay, here's my cutting plates. And this is the old Big Shot from Stampin' Up. That just ages me. It tells you how long I've been a Stampin' Up demonstrator. It's old. Old, old, old. Oh, you guys know what? Let me give you the dimensions for this piece of paper. So this DSP pattern paper is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So let me go ahead. Sorry, I was trying to jump ahead. I know that this is 3 1/2 already. Yeah. Let me do 4 3/4 so that I can get the right size of paper that I'm playing with, so that I can put my little arch and center it. So there's 4 3/4. Now I'm playing with the right size paper here. I apologize for the sniffling, the coughing. I've got my water right here. I've got some paper towels next to me because we've been working out in the yard and on the pool, and my allergies, guys, whew, did kick in my butt. Which has probably been why it's been an extra tough week. I work for State Farm Monday through Friday. That's my real job. And we kind of have this project thing going on with the auto policies. So it's already a super hard time right now. So to ask off or get a day off, or you just can't. It wouldn't be fair. There's only 2 of us in the office, and I would not do that to my other coworker. Okay, so I've cut this piece out. Put my little arch up so I don't lose it. Oh, actually, I still need that. Let me grab that again. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to put this to the side with our card base. Let me pull in our card so that you guys can kind of see it. I'm really bad about moving stuff off camera, and then you guys are like, what in the world are we creating when you come in halfway through? I'm going to see if I have a scratch. I always have my scratch paper, my leftovers, my scraps, and I store them in these little page protector bags so that when I need little bitty pieces, little cuts, I can go and grab from this. You can see I've already used the arch. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out this arch that I need for the background as well. And then we can emboss it. So I apologize for any of the sniffling and yuckiness in the background. Hopefully it won't be too horrible. Okay. I'm just gonna lay that right there. And this is my little shim. And again, no manicure, bare naked fingernails. So unprofessional. But it's so pointless. I mean, I'm doing too much. Too much out in the yard to care about what my fingernails look like. Okay. So now I'm gonna grab the mat that I use for my embossing folders. This is, again, an online exclusive. This is the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. I love this folder. I'm gonna put this in here, and I'm gonna try to just get it straight in there so that my corrugated lines are straight. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just gonna run that through. Before I do that, I need to, this has several different tabs on this, and so depending on what you're running through there, you have to use certain tabs. So I'm gonna open this up and not use any tabs at all. Now it should run through, there we go. A lot smoother. And I probably could have even gotten away with tab 1 on that if you're using the old Big Shot. But you can see this gives it a really nice wavy texture. It just adds a little something something. So we have our cloud cover base. We have our DSP from the Floral Inbloom, which is in the catalog paper pack. I've got our little corrugated mini embossing folder secret C piece. Now we just have to die cut all these flowers. Are you guys ready? Like I said, I'm so sorry that there's a whole bunch of die cutting. I own tons of floral stamps, and I thought I really don't need another floral stamp. So, but I love the dies, and if you guys have watched my last couple of videos, these dies are just awesome because it has all the impressioned lines on there, I guess is what you would call them. It has all the details on it. It's not just you stamp and then you put the die on top of it and you run it through and you cut the die or cut the stamped image. It actually, the die, they've really stepped up their game on the dies. So, okay. Put that over there. I'm going to try to get all of these die cut. So again, I'm going to bring in all these scrap pieces. This is why I don't ever throw away any paper, because you never need when you never know when you'll need just a little itty bitty piece. So again, this card came about because of a challenge. I was challenging myself to make a card using the In Colors new product. And so I just started grabbing stuff. Okay, where are my dies? Okay. And another tip, these dies, there are a lot of die pieces. This is 2 dies, and this is 2 dies, this is 2 dies, this is 2 dies, this is 2 dies. These are 2 dies. What I have done when I was taking them out of the Stampin' Up package, because they were lined up perfectly, I took a piece of tape, hopefully you can see that, and ran it across the back just to keep them, because I knew for me, I didn't have the stamp, so I wasn't going to be using this outer image to stamp and then die cut the stamp. I knew I was just going to be using the dies. So I wanted to kind of keep them together. Hopefully that makes sense. So I only need 1 pink flower, strawberry slush. I love this color. This is probably my favorite in color. We carried this color several years ago, and I loved it then. I was sad when it left, so, okay. And these just pop out pretty easily, but look at all the definition to that. That's just, it's gorgeous. It's not really cut through, but, so I need 1 of those. I need a timid tiger. Let's see if we can put that right there. Where's my clear plate? Oh, actually, I need this piece too, because that's the little itty bitty flower down there. So I might as well run that through at the same time. I do have a magnetic platform, just so you know. If you're gonna run through 2 dies like that together, if your platform is not magnetic, this right here, see, this is a magnetic mat, and then that's magnetic. If you don't have a magnetic one, I would take Post-it note tape or just a Post-it note and stick it on your die cuts as you're running them through so that they don't move on your paper. Okay, so there's that one. And then I need some Darling Duckling. The colors I kind of laugh at because they're silly. Okay, and then I need this little round piece for the center and this little round piece for the center. Is that it? And I'll have to run through this one through twice because I need two of the big, sorry, I heard that click together under there. And it did it again. Okay. Okay, let's see. See if we can do it now. Okay, why is that not going through? There we go. And this die right here cuts out two of them, so I'll have an extra one for another card. So I'm just gonna pop out these little pieces right here. They're usually pretty easy to pop out if you just kind of push up on your taped piece. I'm gonna run that through again because I need two of them. This is the center of the flowers. I need two large. So, you know, there is no stamping on this card at all today. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna put my dies, I'm just sticking them back over here on my magnetic sheet as I have them. And then I need a small cloud cover. We're almost done with the die cutting. Die cutting does take a little bit more time than just, you know, stamping it on paper, but it also gives you, I think, a wow factor. Especially with these dies, because again, they have all the really pretty indentions in them. Okay, now I'm gonna reach for some garden green. Excuse me. Not an in color, but I needed some leaves, and this paper uses a variety of green. I could have went with Old Olive. I could have went with probably even a Mossy Meadow or Mossy, is it Mossy Meadow? No, it's, yeah, Mossy Meadow. I may have even been able to get away with a shaded spruce, but I thought this one with all the bright flowers went a little bit better, so that's what I chose. As far as the leaves go, you've got a couple of different ones for some stems. So I'm gonna grab both of those. And then you have these little leaf things. So I'm gonna grab those. I'm gonna see if I can run these through. Should be able to. Let me kind of put this one down here. I get kind of chintzy with my paper, especially now that, you know, they raised our paper price. So I'm gonna run through all of those at the same time. It's almost like a game to me, like how many pieces can I put on at one time to run it through. Okay. Okay, so there's my two leaves. And will that come off? Where's my little, sorry, reaching across the desk. My little pokey tool. Okay, and I need probably, I'm gonna go ahead and just 2 more leaves, just in case. And if I don't use it on this card, then I'll use it later on a different card. I make a ton of cards because I sign up at the craft fair shows for the fall. And in fact, believe it or not, guys, I've already signed up. Last year we did the one in Piedmont and it went really well. I was very surprised at the turnout. We did one at the state fairgrounds and it wasn't as great. I don't think they really advertised it very well. So we won't be doing that one again this year if they even have it. But the problem that I ran into at the one in Piedmont is this year it is the same date as the one at a church that I've gone to as a customer for several years, and it always seems to do really good. They've had it for years, and so tons of people already know about it. Excuse me. And so I do a lot of advertising for it and marketing for it, and they have a good turnout every year. So it is the same weekend as the Piedmont one. So I opted to do the church one. It's over there by Gaillardia, which is a really nice housing addition. It's off of MacArthur and between Memorial and 33rd. So it's called Church of the Servant. Anyway, me and Jason are going to do that one this year and just try and see how it goes. Okay, I've got all these die cuts cut, and sorry if that was a little painful to watch. Now I'm going to put together the card. Now the fun part. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some dimensionals. Let me grab them. Where are they? These are just our regular dimensionals. And I'm just going to pop this piece up. And the reason why I decided to pop up this border is because since that does have some texture, I wanted this piece to be about the same size. And if I would have laid this flat on the card and then put this up, this would have been elevated and raised. And I'm already going to use pop dots behind the flowers to give it some dimension, to make it pop off the page. And so I thought I really needed to pop this up so that it looked more eye-pleasing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just going to put several of these because I don't want it to sag. And if you'll notice on this card, I did not stamp at all any sayings. So you can use this, you can have this in your arsenal, your back pocket, ready to put anything. I mean, you can easily put a saying down here. There's enough room to stamp a saying and put it on there before you give this card to somebody. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna stand up just because I get a better overall picture so that I can line this up a little bit better. And actually, let me make sure my card is lined up. I'm using my grid paper. If you guys have never used our grid paper is awesome because it makes things way easier to line up. Okay, that looks pretty centered. Again, sorry for the sniffling. Okay, I'm just gonna take some adhesive. I'm gonna put quite a bit on this because since this does have some dimension to it, it takes a little bit more adhesive. To be honest, normally I would probably use green glue on this, just because that green glue would hold it down better. I'm gonna pop this in here, and then I'm gonna take my little pokey tool, and I'm just gonna make sure and go around the rim of this designer series paper and make sure that that is on top of this corrugated piece. I want that to, this corrugated piece, I want to like sit inside. I don't want it to be higher than my DSP. So again, if you just take your little pokey tool or whatever tool you have and just kind of go around it, you can make sure that this is up above. Okay. Now it's really just about putting this card together, and it's going to go together pretty fast. Let me take a drink. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our little stems, and we're going to get kind of a general idea. I wanted this one to go, I wanted it to sit like right at the edge, because see, that's where the blue flower goes, and this is where the orange flower goes. And instead of using the green capped mono multi liquid glue, what I did was I just took my dimensionals and I put them on the stem underneath my flower, because I thought this is going to hold it down. This is going to make sure that that piece doesn't go anywhere. And then again, I can just tuck that bottom piece underneath there. That green piece, the green stem. I've got this little paper fiber. There we go. That was driving me crazy. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and pop it right here. And then I'm going to take my blue piece and pop it. I'm just going to kind of tuck it under there. And then where are my little yellow pieces? I did use this green capped glue. I have mine in a little precision tip bottle for the centers. So I'm going to use a big one on the orange and a small one on the cloud cover. Timid Tiger cloud cover. I'm really bad about just saying orange and blue. And then I'm going to take this piece right here. Again, guys, I'm so sorry for my allergies. No fun listening to somebody hack all day. Put that one right here. And I'm going to come in. I'm just going to kind of lay that one underneath the Timid Tiger. And then I'm going to take my paper snips. And I'm just going to come in and cut this off because this piece is too long. And again, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pull it up and poke it and tuck it. I'm running into a dimensional under there. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. And then we can come in and we can play. It did take me a little while to figure out where I wanted to put these leaves. So got a little glue. I'm gonna put one down here. I felt like that was a good place. And then I'm going to take this yellow Darling Duck, sorry. Okay. Why is my glue all of a sudden not working? There we go. Little bit of that glue goes a long way. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck it like it's growing up from underneath that leaf. I felt like that kind of softened this hard edge. Now on this one, I played with doing this multiple ways. So I wanted it in this little V. So I thought, okay, I can do something like this, where it looks like it's growing up out of that stem, or I could even put this piece under here, but I didn't like the looks of it, so I just opted for putting this on the V. Ooh, way too much. Okay, hold on, let me grab a leaf and pull some of that off. Okay. Try not to get glue all over me. So I'm just gonna pop this right there, and then maybe instead of putting that leaf underneath, maybe I'll tuck it up over that. This green glue is kind of nice because it gives you a second to move things. You're not committed, and it does dry clear, so if you see any little pieces of glue coming out, that's okay. I did kind of pull these up. I don't know if you've noticed that, but because these flowers right here had some dimension, I wanted to kind of lift these up. So I've just, you know, put my finger down there, kind of pulled up. I was pretty gentle with it. I could really just get away with using those two leaves. I might stick another one. I don't know. Up under here maybe? That would be kind of cute. I think that's what I'll do. No two cards are ever alike. Should have used my tweezers, I think. Need to go up and under. And then we can kind of pull that down. There we go. And then, really, I think that's enough leaves. I like working in odd numbers. That is always more eye appealing. So I've got 5 flowers on here. I have 3 leaves on here. I think that's a pretty good. Oh, you guys, were you screaming at me? I forgot to put my center on my strawberry slush flower. Heavens, we can't have that. Okay, there we go. And then I just have these extra 3 little pieces that I can use on another card. But let's not forget this beautiful bling, again, in all the end colors. So let's go. Some Darling Duck up here. Maybe some Timid Tiger. No, we want the Timid Tiger right here, because that's next to the Strawberry Slush. So I don't want to put a Strawberry Slush one there. And then let's go Strawberry Slush down here. Voila, we're done. What do you guys think? I love it. I think it's very beautiful. The colors pop off of that secret sea. I love it. And again, you could put a little sentiment down here, a happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, thinking of you, thank you, whatever you want. So, but I've got 2 cards ready to go. Hope you guys enjoyed today's Facebook Live. Just to remind you, I do offer monthly card and scrapbooking classes, so if you're ever interested, let me know. I will add your name to my email list. I send out a monthly email, newsletter, whatever you want to call it, just letting you know of the times and dates and the prices of all the classes. So there is no commitment. I've got lots of girls that come one month and then don't come another month because they've got something going on, or you know, they go ahead and they pay for the kit but they don't come to the class. That's an option. So if you're ever interested, let me know. But we are kind of gearing up and getting ready for craft show season already, so maybe you can come out and see us at one of those. Again, the one at Church of the Servant, that is off of MacArthur in between Memorial and 33rd, which is 150th. It's called Earth Glow. So if you go Google Earth Glow Craft Fair Market, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, you can get all the details. But we're looking forward to doing that one. It'll be a little bit of a different crowd. Jason does sell his wooden flags there. So hoping to do a little bit better on his wooden flags this time around. Again, different clientele kind of. So, anywho, we're just kind of playing around trying to figure out what fits us best. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's Facebook Live. I love this card. I love how the colors pop. I hope you guys are having fun playing with the new products that you guys have gotten. If you ever have any questions, need any help on anything, do not hesitate to reach out and call me, Facebook message me, email me, however you know how to get a hold of me. Anyway, you guys take care, and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye-bye.